Well, first, Israel is inching closer to the possibility of a general strike. On Monday, the Knesset, as expected, approved a key part of Benjamin Netanyahu's divisive judicial overhaul, curbing judges' rights to rule on whether a government decision is reasonable. Now, the development fanned the flames of a now 7-month-old protest movement. The Israeli Medical Association, which represents about 95% of doctors, has announced a 24-hour protest on Tuesday. And that may just be the tip of the iceberg. Over 1,000 Air Force reservists had threatened to suspend their volunteer service if the measure was adopted. Here's reporter Sammy Sokol in Jerusalem with more on the protest movement.
What is interesting is that the first demonstration here in Jerusalem was led by leaders of the security establishment, like the former head of the Shin Bet, Nadav Argaman. He was the first to be in the protest. There were people from the business community, and then, of course, students joined in. And the police, they decided to disperse the demonstrators, but they still came pouring in. And in Tel Aviv, what we saw is a kind of like a spontaneous demonstration with people going down to the main highway, not only blocking the highway, but making bonfires. They're accusing the police for not only dispersing them later on, but also throwing fire at them. And probably the most significant incident yesterday, we saw a car that rammed into demonstrators. And now we believe that this was intentional. And the driver himself was arrested by the police. There were 3 injured. And this is exactly the fears that exist here, that we're heading into a kind of a collision, a kind of a civil war. And yesterday there was another incident in a kibbutz in the south of Israel where pro-government activists came to this kibbutz. They tried to block the kibbutz. And then the guard from the kibbutz, he shot in the air. So we're talking about a very tense situation, and the protests are continuing. The doctors announced that the hospitals will be closed today for 24 hours, except for emergency cases, and the movement has not died.